Well, hello everybody. Got a video that I'm really excited about doing today. We're gonna do a ballistic gel test on a 6.5 bullet. The 264 Win Mag is the cartridge we're using today. The two bullets that we're gonna do is one is the Speer Hot Core. In today's world, that is a pretty generic bullet. I've used that bullet for probably 30 plus years now. And this is what I like about it. It has a generic price, 28 bucks a 100. The other bullet we're going to use today, Nosler AccuBond. It's got a reputation of being a very, very great performing premium bullet. Of course, it's tipped, it's got a boat tail. The Spears do not have a boat tail. I'll dig one out and have you show you. So here's the two bullets. Well, I can hold them so you guys can see a little better. But my big fat sausage finger's in the way. But the Nosler AccuBond, boat tail bullet, tipped, great ballistic coefficient. The Speer Hot Core, not tipped, not boat tail. I wish I could get that up there so you guys see better. But that Nosler is quite a bit longer. There you guys get a better view of it. So anyway, by anybody's standards, the Nosler is a better bullet. I'm not gonna argue that point. It's a buck a piece. Every time you squeeze the trigger, that's a buck. This guy's 28 cents. I've used this bullet for so long that I just have a lot of faith in this bullet. I've taken lots of game with it, had great accuracy with it. The 264s that we're shooting, generally speaking, really like it. So anyway, I have been very, very curious to do a ballistics gel test on them to see how well they hold up. I've chronographed both these loads. They're both going just over 2,800 feet, which is pretty mild by 264 standards. You know, through load development, I might could get another couple hundred feet out of it, but with this Nosler load, me and my son both have 264s, and we've got a load developed where both guns shoot up very accurate. So that's a plus. We're kind of just starting some load development with the Speer bullet. I used to use Hodgdon H870. That hasn't been made in probably 10 or 20 years. So I'm kind of back to the drawing board with this Speer bullet. So anyway, the gun we're using is a gun, hopefully you guys, I did a video on this just recently, but hopefully you guys have seen this, but this is a gun I'm very, very fond of. I got this for graduation in 1988. I gave it to my son for his graduation present just a few years ago. So this gun's got a lot of emotional ties to it. This is what we're using for the test today. This gun is proven to like that Speer bullet. Like I say, I've used that bullet and this gun for 35 years now, long time, with the H870 load. Of course, they don't make that anymore, so we're using MagPro powder in that Speer load, and in the Nosler load, we're using Reloader 22. Reloader 22 has been around a long time, but it's not available right now. I haven't seen it on the shelves or even on the websites for probably 2 or 3 years. So that's what made me look at the MagPro. A friend of mine I work with, he's used MagPro in his 264 with great luck. So anyway, we're kind of in that load development stage. Hopefully you guys have seen that on the video. But I've been just super curious to see how this thing holds up. So we'll show you the ballistic gel test we're gonna do on it today. All right, so this is ballistic gel blocks. We've got 3 16-inch blocks that we're gonna shoot today. This first one is one of my newest ones, pretty clear. The next one's not quite as clear. This next one's been cooked so many times it's gotten pretty dark, but I think it'll still give us the results we want today. We got the tape measure out. We're shooting about 48 inches of ballistics gelatin. I don't know where that bullet's going to stop. It's going to be very interesting to see. All right, so the first bullet I'm going to shoot is the Nosler AccuBond. My plan, hopefully it'll work, I'm going to shoot toward the bottom of the blocks. Hopefully if it travels pretty straight, we can just flip the blocks over and be able to find the bullet real easy, and we'll shoot the Speer at the top. So anyway, let's get to shooting. All right, let's go have a look. All right, well, it went in a little lower than I wanted it to. It went in right there close to the bottom. You guys can see the bullet come through, really expanded right there. I am not sure if it went out. We're gonna have to flip them blocks over and see what we got. All right, guys, well, we're gonna have to take another shot. It went in real low right there, and it looks like it came out of the block. So we're gonna take another shot. All right, we're gonna take another shot with the Nosler AccuBond. Well, that certainly did something. We'll be able to see it in the GoPro footage, but it blew the block right off the table. All right, guys, well, I think we had a little bit more success. The bullet entered about right there. You can see the bullet path, and it kind of takes a right and enters the other block, going on the other side. We can see it a little easier from this side. So the bullet is about right there. I'm gonna grab the tape measure so we know what we got for penetration. Okay, so we're right at 29 inches of penetration. Not too bad. And there's the bullet. Pretty easy for us to find it. Let's get a hold of it. Okay, there she is. I forgot to bring the scales out with me, but when at the end of the video, I'll take this in and we'll weigh them and see what the weight retention is on it. But there's the bullet, held together pretty good. You can see the base is still intact pretty well right there. Ooh, and that baby's still a little hot. Yeah, that's a great performing bullet by anybody's standards. Well, the weight retention will be interesting, but I mean that bullet is, generally speaking, held its weight pretty good. I'm sure it looks like there's a fragment somewhere. Hopefully you guys can see that. So anyway, 29 inches. So, you know, I'm kind of the guy that roots for the underdog. And to me, in this little test we're doing, this Speer is the underdog. It's a fraction of the cost, been around a long time. It's not the fancy bullet like the AccuBond is. So I sure hope we have good results. Just, that's my nature, root for the underdog. So here we go, we'll try this Speer hot core. Let's go have a look. Okay guys, well, I'm pretty excited about this. Hopefully you can see the bullet is about right there. And I don't know how well you see it in the camera, but the path of the bullet is straighter than the Nosler. Entry hole is about right in here. Pretty straight line of penetration at about 27 inches. Yeah, 27 inches, about right there. So we'll get the knife out and we'll find that bullet. All right, so I'm gonna get the knife out and dig this bullet out, but you know, let's think about this. That Nosler bullet turned and actually come out of the ballistics gel, and we measured it right where it came out at 29 inches. This Speer stayed in the ballistics gel, little straighter flight path, and was at 27. I guess in my mind, there is no difference in that, because where that bullet come out, it's a little less resistance, I would feel like, than the bullet that stayed in the gel. So I'm here by myself, so it's going to be hard to hold the camera and actually get a good view of where that bullet is. I'm going to try to position the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, guys, so the bullet, it looks like, is about right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Get my little pick sticker out here and see if we can get that baby out of there. Well, guys, I like rooting for the underdog. The performance of that bullet, look at the way that it mushroomed. I mean, I'm not going to say that's perfect, but that's about near perfect. It's the outside jackets have folded back nicely, and the face of that bullet is just a big round blunt slug, which, you know, penetration wise and hold together, the base of the bullet, shoot, man alive, I am impressed with that bullet. All right, so here is the Nosler, and there's the Speer. The Nosler is slightly bigger as far as the frontal, not very much. We'll go in the house to finish this video up and we'll weigh these bullets for weight retention and put a set of calipers on them. I can tell you right now that the Nosler is slightly bigger frontal diameter, not by much, but the weight retention will be interesting to see. But as far as penetration of the ballistics gel, they're the same to me. Like I say, we technically measured it at 29 inches with the Nosler and 27 with the Speer, but the Speer's flight path was a little straighter. And I think what's happened is I don't know how well you guys can see that, but there's two big pedals on the Nosler, but one of the pedals broke off. So I think that's what caused that bullet to not fly straight. To where this guy, it's not in a pedal formation, but the jacket is just folded back fairly even all the way around with a little straighter penetration, I think, as a result. So anyway, we're gonna get things cleaned up. I'm gonna go in the house, we'll weigh these bullets, and then we'll be able to finish the video up. Okay, well, we're in the house. We got this bullet, both these bullets out, got my Dillon scale out. So this bullet that we're gonna weigh first is the Nosler. And I pointed out to the field that it looks like a big piece of the front pedal broke off. So I would have guessed this bullet to be lighter, but I was wrong. So let's see what we got. So the Nosler bullet started out life as a 140 grain bullet. And now it's just about 80 grains. 81 grains. So we're gonna call it 81.5 grains. I am shocked that the bullet is that light. So that was the Nosler. Well, this guy's the Speer. The Speer is a little smaller frontal diameter, but very uniform. And out of the ballistics gel, we've seen that this bullet path was a lot straighter than the Nosler. The Nosler actually come out of the ballistics gel. Speer was 27 grains. Nosler was 27 inches. The Nosler was 29 inches. So almost exactly the same bullet performance in the ballistics gel. We'll see what the weight is. So we're going to call that 72 grains. So the Speer at 72 grains, the Nosler at 81. Very, very similar performance. Okay, so we got the calipers on the Speer. It's reading about 400 thousandths. Of course, it started out life as 264, so not double in size, but you know, half again anyway. Pretty decent performance. Here's the Nosler. We know that's slightly bigger. Let's see what it says. About the biggest point. It's about 500 thousandths. Still not quite double. Yeah, we're gonna call the biggest measurement on the bullet's about 500 thousandths. So, no question about it, the Nosler bullet performs slightly better. To me, the differences are so slight that am I going to pay $1 a bullet for these versus 28 cents for these? I don't think I would. If I was looking for a hunting bullet that was going to be under 600 yards range, I wouldn't think twice about using the Speer over the Nosler. If you're trying to eke every bit of performance at a long range, the Nosler is the way to go, for sure. The ballistic coefficient's higher. It's a tip bullet. It's a boat tail bullet. It's going to buck the wind better. It's going to have less drop. Hold its velocity better. No question, the Nosler is a bit more premium bullet. I think for everyday hunting situations, this Speer is just fine. I wouldn't hesitate in any caliber to use a Speer hot core. I've been dying to do this test just because I've had so much faith in these Speers for so many years, and this Nosler to me is new to me. But anyway, both great bullets. For the cost, I think the Speer is definitely a winner at 28 cents a piece versus $1 a piece with the Nosler. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this video up. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe.